All right. Once again, ladies and gentlemen, y'all know what time it is, and y'all know who I am. I am Mr. Soul Lover Man 504, aka Damon Alvarez. And again, we are bringing you an amazing interview with one of the most extraordinarily branded young ladies on the planet. I say I always deliver, man. I always like to deliver. So today we have an amazing Dawn Paul, aka TheDrDawn. She's a certified life coach. She's an author, a speaker, a motivator. She's an international media personality.
Oh, well.
I have to put that international in there, man. Come on now. And she's the CEO and the owner of Obsessed with the Media. So, ladies and gentlemen, TheDrDawn, aka
Hi, everybody. Hey, everybody.
I want to say yeah, we had some technical issues, but hey, we're here, folks. We're here. We're doing it. 2020 has been that year, man.
Hey, I don't even if COVID wasn't here, technical difficulties, trust me, they happen to Oprah. It happens to the best of them. So yeah, I don't think there's anybody in media who hasn't had a technical difficulty. They just don't tell you.
Right. Exactly. And, and again, I just want to, humbly thank you for for joining me, and also for everything that you've done, because not a lot of people really look out. Houston is a big city, but it's a small pond as far as entertainment goes, so not a lot of people look out. So for those who look out, I like to share that love and throw that love back. So
Hey, it is what it is, right?
yeah. Exactly. Yeah, exactly. So let me start off with this. So you wear you wear a lot of different hats. How do you balance it? How do you balance it all out?
You know what? One of the biggest problems I did have, and a lot of people have, is you're wearing too many hats. And one thing I learned last year was I was focusing on too much. I scaled down the services I offered with my media company. I was offering services I wasn't even really passionate about, so I pass it on to other people, took it off the website. I stay in my lane. I'm focused on the things I like to do. So that's really how you have one of the reasons you have a balance. You know, the saying, jack of all trades, master of none. That's what I was. Some of this stuff I wasn't even really good at. I didn't even really enjoy. I mean, you can learn, but let somebody else do that. That's not what God wants me to do in this business. Give it to somebody else. I'm staying focused on what I'm doing. And that's how you balance it. I don't take on too much. People think, yeah, I know you got to have multiple streams of income, but you can have multiple streams of income within one company. So you don't just have one stream of income through your company, you build it, and then you can have multiple streams of income providing different services, partnerships, all that. So I'm not going to start doing all this other stuff, selling jewelry and all that. There's nothing wrong with that, but God didn't tell me to do that. So that's why I have a balance, because I'm staying in my lane.
Right. It's like they say, it's like they say, if you build it, they will come. And believe me, you have been building.
But you got to build it right. It's got to be on a good foundation. That's the problem.
Right.
You build it and they not coming because the foundation isn't firm. The foundation isn't engaging. The atmosphere is not right. That you use cheap material. You know what I mean?
Right.
Yeah. You got the wrong construction team with you.
So that's where that so you have a very discerning eye, as far as just spotting the right things in media and entertainment, and that does a part of that encompass the no judgment and just realness brand that you have sometimes?
Part of it is, I used to not have a strong spirit of wisdom and discernment when I was in a place of desperation. I thought I needed certain people to help me. They weren't popular, and, but that's why I always tell people, are they popular or are they purposeful? I had
Yes.
learned the hard way, aligning myself to people. They had a name, but it was
Mhm.
a, following, it was a disaster, right? So now that I'm not in a place of desperation, if you don't invite me to your table, I don't care. If I'm not in the clique, in the right group, or I'm not good enough for you, I don't care about that. So that's where the spirit of wisdom and discernment comes in, strong spirit of wisdom and discernment, because I'm not desperate. When I'm walking in purpose, that's when God connects me to the right people. And they're necessarily not popular people, right? So I'm looking at the spirit. And when I lead with that, man, that's now I can see clearly. You're popular, but I see you're a demon. You're popular, but you a user. You just,
Mhm.
you about yourself, you selfish. And I don't have time. So I'm led, yeah. So when you're not desperate to make it, you're going to see things clearly. It's going to come on a little slower, right? Because God has a way of teaching you things along the way. But
Lessons,
when you're
right?
not desperate and in a rush, you'll see right through people. I'm telling you.
Yeah, that's very true. You know, we do live now in that social media age where people are like, you know, numbers, 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 and numbers. And I feel like 2020 and moving forward is ushering in more like you said, the no judgment, just realness. And people
Right.
always say game recognizes game, you know,
Yeah.
and yeah, like you said, people now are using their God's eye, that intuition, to spot the realness from the fake. 'Cause there's a lot of fake out here.
Yeah.
There's
Yeah.
a lot of fake out here.
True. True.
So let me ask, how important is owning your own brand, as far as, maybe like 2020 and beyond goes? I feel like a lot of people have, I think a lot of people I feel like a lot of people have of they're afraid of their own success in a sense. So they
Mm.
ask for it. They say God wants to come, and God wants to come, and God wants to come, and it gets there and it's right in front of them, and they step back. Because I think sometimes people think it's going to come one way, and it may come several different ways.
That's right. It's new territory. Like some people are like, and like you hit it on the head, because we think it's going to happen the way we think it's going to happen. Your new territory could come through a job loss. Your new territory could come through this person who doesn't look polished. Your new territory comes through all these different arenas. Your new territory could come through that divorce, that person who you didn't need to marry anyway. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
When new territory comes, it's new. So for some people, it's scary. But we have to get out of that idea God's going to answer prayers the way we think he is. No, it's not going to happen the way you think it is. It could come through a health crisis. I hate to say it. It could come through COVID. Some things have been made clear to me through COVID. So it's not going to come the way you think it is. And that's why it's scary, because sometimes it's scary because it's not coming the way you want it to come. God don't work like that. Let go, let God. Not that you're lazy, keep working, but he's going to do it the way he's going to do it. And it's going to make you stronger, wiser, spirit of wisdom and discernment. And it's going to bless you bigger than you could ever imagine. So get out of your way and let him in the driver's seat, and things will be so much better and you won't be scared, right? But that's where trust and faith comes in.
Right. I think we're and another thing that's big now, a lot of people like, manifest, speak into existence, but you have to, they forget the faith without works part, and they're not moving. That's the thing that's like getting me. They're just not moving in any kind of way.
Part of it is you're manifesting something that God doesn't have for you. That's part
Mhm.
of the problem. First of all, and I got to start there. You have a lot of people, I hear all this, it sounds real good, but I can speak from personal experience. There's a lot of things I manifested and it didn't come to pass. It wasn't because I didn't try hard enough. I had to say, God, this is just not for me. This is just not, even though I want it. He's like, that's not what I have for you. So I had to let it go. You got to let go of your dreams and goals and let God's dreams and goals manifest in your life. See, people are wasting a lot of time. You doing what other people are doing. Who told you to do that? God didn't confirm it. There's a whole lot of things I manifested that didn't happen because it wasn't God's plan. And people are manifesting things that God doesn't have for them. Again, you seeing what you want to see. You know, that's part of the problem. But part of it is we have to understand and see, I used to be so condemning, and we know condemning is not right, right? God doesn't even condemn. The Lord doesn't even condemn, but we're hard on each other. And one of the things I used to do, I used to talk at people. Why aren't you going for that? But I said, you know what, as a life coach, you know, one of the things you learn is, you know, before God brought me to being a life coach, right? Thank God, because you can't condemn clients. What kind of coach is that? That's why God, of course, you go through experiences to help you in what God has called you to do. But we have to understand people come from backgrounds where they've never been told you can do it. Right. They look polished, they look together, but they're still that little girl who mommy never told them you could do it. So they're in this comfortable corporate world. They have a husband, but maybe he's not who they should have married. So he's not, you know, so they have this demonic force in their household, let's be honest, that may be keeping them from coming to the next level. You have a lot of things why people are not moving forward. Fear, scared, they think they're going to fail. I failed, and really we didn't fail. It just redirects you to where God has you to be. But it's a whole lot of reasons. People are in grown bodies, but there's still maybe sometimes those little children who wish mommy or daddy was there to say, I love you. You know, that's why some people, they need validation from social media. They have to tell you everything they're doing, every single thing. They need, you know, somebody to tell them. So we have to understand that people are coming from all different backgrounds as to why they're fearful and they won't move forward. But that is why us, DeMond, we got to lift up our brothers and sisters. Say, hey, girl, I see what you're doing. Or when are you going to get that project started that you told me about? Or girl, when are you going, you know, are you living your dream? So it's up to us to encourage others. Right. So that's what we do. And if and pray for them. And if they move forward, they do. If they don't, you've done your part. But let God touch them, because they'll get tired of being comfortable. And, you know, but in God's time.
True. So you have a very, let's say, very unique relationship with God. And can you talk about more of the importance of the one-on-one relationship? You know, going to church is cool, and, you know, talking to the pastor, that's cool. But, you know, can you talk more about how important the one-on-one relationship with, you know, the Almighty is?
Let me tell you, you know, and I people know where I stand. That's why I hashtag Jesus, but not just hashtag him. I try to live, right? I'm not perfect. God knows that. But hopefully you see his light in me. So anybody who asks me on their platform, Jesus is going to come out some kind of way. I'm going to say, oh, God is good. Or thank you, Lord. And if you don't like it, don't invite me. That's what I tell people, because I'm not going to intentionally hold back just to, you know, I'm not concerned about that. But I tell people the one-on-one is important, because, see, you can't let the pastor do all your teaching, all the preaching and teaching. You got to read the word for yourself. And that is how you really get to know what he wants for you. You're not going to get that every once a week in a sermon. It's intimate time with him. And I tell people, even if it starts with 5 minutes a day, do it. And it will build. You know what I'm going to tell you, because I tell you, TheDrDawn used to tear up some cocktails, some spirits, right? Before she became TheDrDawn. And I'm going to tell you, I was born and raised in the church, but I was like the prodigal son. I was the prodigal daughter. I strayed from God, right? Strayed, but thank God he brought me back. And right. But let me tell you what my Bible time and prayer time was. And I'm going to tell you, being born and raised in the church, my prayer and Bible time started off with reading one chapter, and then I'd follow it up. I said, okay, I read my chapter. I had my little prayer, and then I'd follow it up with some drinks. You know what I'm saying? All that I learned, it went out the window because them cocktail, right? So let me get this right. But you build over the years, right? So I want to say that to people who are like, well, she's probably always read the Bible and been so. Please, I'm a work in progress and still a work in progress, but it's a process. Now it's an hour of Bible time, or 2 hours, or sometimes 3 a day, split up, an hour here, an hour there. You know what I'm saying? So don't be so hard on yourself. Just start, and he'll reveal things to you, and he'll expose people to you. But it only comes with you knowing him. So it's very, very important. It's very important. You got to do it. I'm telling you.
That's yeah, that is very, very, very true, because it's important to not just, I just would like to tell people, God isn't a genie, just like, God, I need this, God, I need that, God, people always say like people find religion or salvation at their most darkest, and I mean like at like that last minute Hail
Yes.
Mary, then they call God, you know what I mean?
But sometimes that's what it takes.
Right.
Because see,
Yeah.
I was born and raised, I was saved in the third grade, but I strayed away from God, but I didn't start to get a stronger relationship with him until I was down to nothing.
Mm-hmm.
Right? So I asked, that's why in my talks I give every Think About It Thursday, I'm witnessing to people. Are you a believer? I asked Damon, are you a believer? If y'all are not a believer, God needs to, so I will help bring you to Christ. I witness to people. I have an invitation. We're not just playing Jesus here. You doing these short talks for an hour about Jesus, are you inviting people to come to Christ? So that's what I have been called to do, and that's what I'm gonna do. And no one's ever been turned off. Right? I mean,
Right.
time's short. I don't have time for that.
That is very true.
We got to live for him.
Right. And it's and with that, and with that, let me ask, how important is it, as maybe as more of an entrepreneur, because people always say it's lonely at the top, and you don't quite understand the entrepreneurial like lifestyle or grind until you really like get into it, start your own business or whatever it is that you want to do. So, within that perspective, how do you feel, how important is it, do you feel like it is to just really stay in your own lane, stay committed to what you're doing, as far as your life path and your life purpose?
When you start doing other things that God didn't plan for you, that's wasted energy. Mm-hmm. I have to focus, right? It's not really lonely at the top. People are lonely at the top because they have the wrong people with them. You have people who got a whole lot of people around them, but they are lonely and miserable. My circle is small. I'm not lonely. You're lonely because you got the wrong people with you. You're lonely maybe because, and I'm going to tell you the truth, see, some people, you have backstabbed some people to get to the top, and now you alone. You at the top, but now you alone because you done stabbed so many people in the back. It's not always the haters. You got to look yourself in the mirror. So that's why some people are lonely at the top, because you done stabbed everybody in the back. But if you're lonely at the top, you need to change your circle. It's not lonely at the top. You just have to have the right people around you. Seriously. And that really is the key.
It's almost like saying, it's almost like saying you reap what you sow. So everybody else may see you at that certain position that you've asked for, but they don't see the trail of blood behind you that you're dragging behind to reach that certain position.
Well, you have many people who are, and this is how I don't know why I was thinking of this the other day. And I said, I'm going to use this somewhere when I do an interview. So I'll use it here. If you look at the Animal Planet, right? You watch Big Cat Week, you see the lion documentaries, right? You got the lions, they're workers, they're hunters. Then look at the hyenas. You got hyenas. Hyenas try to steal what everybody else has fought for. Then you have the vultures who they don't even care. They just gonna wait till you done and then they gonna get the scraps. Some people are okay with that. We're lions. You gonna have hyenas. They gonna try to ride your coattail. They gonna try to steal what you got. But I said try. You have to understand that it is what it is. But if you see, the lions are always at the top. They're not bothered by the hyenas. They the king of the jungle. They top. When you at the top of your game, you're not worried about that other stuff. Right. So, I mean, I just say that to people. You can't worry about it. You always, let me tell you something, it never fails. Every time I do an interview or I do a media interview, Dr. Dawn, can you give me the information? Are you kidding? Sometimes God gives me the spirit of wisdom and discernment who to share information with, right? Mm-hmm. You don't do it with everybody.
Right.
But because some people are hyenas and some are vultures. Yeah, they try to pick my scraps or they ride your coat coattails. Every time they see you doing an interview, they want to see what they don't ever put in their own work. I put in work. You're not going to just get a piece of what I got because, you know, you DMing me. Yes, I love the Lord, but I'm not a fool. I believe in sharing, but I'm not a sucker. I'm into reciprocating relationships. So what you got? Don't think I have arrived. So what? You think because I do these segments on television that I've arrived? Are you kidding? I still got we still hustling every day. Why don't you say, Dr. Dawn, what can I do for you? Before you ask me for a favor or anybody for a favor, right, Damon? And I'm sure people are like, oh, Damon, I need to be on your show. What you got for me? Yeah, we don't give to get something back, but it comes a time when you have to say, okay, but we both need to be winning in this thing. So right. what are you going to do for me? Reciprocating relationships is what I'm all about.
Yeah, like I said before, you know, power, you know, it's, you know, power recognizes power. Game is always going to recognize game. So, you know, and I think you talked about this a few years back, you know, how people try to, you know, come into your inner circle and try to be buddy with you just to see what they can get out of you without, you know, without pouring anything in. You know, sometimes doing little things, you know, sharing a post, you know, sending some business somebody's way. You know, these things can go a long way. You know, people have good memories of these things, you know.
Right.
So it doesn't, you know, it doesn't necessarily have to be you know, anything really extraordinary, but
right,
giving from the heart, you know, if you're giving from the heart, like I'll never come to you, you know, without like we've had a relationship over the, you know, last 5-6 years, you know, like I've seen your growth, you know, you've seen my growth. You know, if I was just some whatever guy, you know, like, oh wow, she looks cool, you know, I can use her for this and that, you know, your discernment would kick in. You'd be like, well, who are you? What have you done? You know what I mean?
These people are leeches. Let me tell you, some people will come into the DM 5 minutes after you accept their friend request. Hey, and they see what you can do for them because they go through your timeline and then they'll say, hey, would you mind sharing my stuff on your timeline? Open and deleted. You know why? Because sometimes I don't even open the DM because I see when it starts with, can you give me, I don't even open it because you're just another, I don't have time for that. But when you say, hey, TheDrDawn, I want to talk to you about, when it starts off with that, but sometimes I open it to let you know I saw it and I just delete it and don't respond. And then you should use your common sense, right? Mm-hmm. Reciprocating relationships. You've known me for 5 minutes and you're already asking for a favor. What do I need? So that's what I'm saying. That's why some people will always be borrowers and they will never be a lender because their mentality is always take. And it's unintentional, right? Because I used to be like that. I was always, oh, can you hook me up? Can you connect me? But that was a selfish spirit. But with deliverance, I'm in a place of selflessness. I don't go into people's DM unless there's something I can give them as well. Because I know how it feels to be used. But 5 minutes after we friends, you already want a favor? Are you kidding? Come on. These people, you can see right through them. It don't take long. And some of them, it really don't take long. Less than 5 minutes, they already asking for a favor. That's why some people, so I encourage people, see what the other person needs. See what the other person on the other end needs. You'll get so much farther that way. And then say thank you and please. And then personalize the DM for God's sakes. Don't start off with, hey, queen, hey, beautiful. I already know you done send it to me and 50 other people. Okay, move on. People don't even understand, but it comes with, when you get ignored enough, hopefully you will wake up and see what's going on, that maybe you need to start being more of a reciprocator instead of just a taker. We all need something. Everybody has something that can help someone else. So I want people to think about that. Don't think because I've been on TV, she doesn't need anything. Are you freaking kidding? We hustling every day, y'all. So see what the other person on the other end needs.
True. You never know when somebody's going to come and say like, hey, man, you know, I got this connected on, you know, I see you grinding. I see blah, blah, blah. You know, I told the lady about you. Here's the contact information. You know, like I would do that for, like, literally, I would do that for you because I know who you are. And you would take advantage of the opportunity, and I wouldn't have to
Look,
be like, right. And
and
I
it's not
wouldn't
just
have.
that. You see, I wear hair extensions.
Mm-hmm.
TheDrDawn, I got to hook up with some hair. Come on, y'all. Some free lip gloss, something. Hook a sister up. Come on, y'all. Some Target gift cards. Don't come just empty-handed. Don't just come with your hand out for me to fill your plate up. What you gonna fill my plate up with? Come on, y'all. We gotta do better.
I think like what you said, give to be of service and not to be seen. Like you see all of these people on YouTube, like I'm gonna go give, you know, $1,000 to this homeless man, you know. But okay, so if you're gonna do that, you know, why you need your cameras? Why do you need your followers? You know?
Unless we're filming, there are certain times I do promote me giving, and that's if
Yeah,
we're part of an initiative, if you
right.
want other people to give, and it's, you can see the spirit behind it,
Mhm.
right? But if you see that, you know, but again, I go back to validation, Damon. Some people need somebody to say, oh my God, you're such a good person. Believe it or not, you got people in grown bodies, but they're that little boy who wishes there was daddy to say, I'm proud of you. They wish that mom, their high school or college graduations, you know, you'd be surprised who never said, I'm proud of you. So they get that validation on social media. So they have to tell you they've done something for the homeless. They got to tell you, they got to do that. They need that. And they haven't healed from some things possibly. And some people just need attention. Some people, it's just who they are. But some people are carrying a lot of burdens. They're broken and they need somebody to say, I'm proud of you. That's why they got to tell us every single thing. So I try not to be so hard on them, but I try to look at the why are you really doing this? And sometimes I can see right through people. I'm like, oh, they need the attention. They need the attention. Somebody didn't give them enough attention. Or maybe they got the wrong attention, or they feel, again, I always talk about social media and self-esteem. Your intent is to boost your followers, and that's, you know, all that kind of stuff. So some people, they're just selfish and they got, you know, their spirit is just not right. But some people need that validation. So you got to pray for them and keep it moving and make sure our intentions are straight.
Right. And
Seriously.
it just feels like, you know, some people are, they just like, they need the likes, the numbers, they need to put out the shock value and blah, 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 blah. And, you know, they feel like, I think we talked about this, like staying in your own lane, you know, they look, and you know, and I find there's nothing wrong with like seeing what's going on out there. Maybe you can take a little bit of that and put it in your basket. You know, maybe that will work for you. But
Yeah.
don't just take somebody's whole brand and just try to make it your own.
But see, it never works. When you're
Yeah,
counterfeit, it never works.
right.
Don't be counterfeit. Stay the original. That's what I tell people. But you have to understand, everybody's going to copy you. I've seen people copy my templates. The same color, the same. I'm like, are you kidding? And some of them are people I know, and they admire what you're doing. And I'm like, really? That's exactly my same. But they're like, well, it works for TheDrDawn. But you don't understand, these words are what God gives me. And what happens is they don't continue it for long, because this is something in here and in here that God gives me. You can't copy that, right? Now you can people copy everybody all the time, but it comes with the territory. It is what it is. Keep it moving. Keep
Right.
walking in your path. Keep being the original. Counterfeits will come. Don't let it bother you, because then it's really a compliment, right? Who wants to copy a crap brand? Nobody copies crap. So if people are copying what you're doing or try to,
Right.
it's a
You're doing
compliment.
something right. You're
Yeah,
doing
it's a
something
compliment. So it's a compliment. Nobody copies crap. People copy something that's
right.
quality. So keep it moving. Don't let it bother you, and keep it up. Just keep going. It's part of the territory. See, that's why I tell people, anybody can make money, right? But if we want to enjoy our success, we have to be mentally, spiritually, and emotionally strong, healthy, and healed. Because I want to enjoy my prosperity. You can't be bothered by the counterfeits. You can't be bothered by people who try to use you. It comes with the territory, because as God elevates you, people see you. The more people see you, and it's just part of it, and you move on.
Right.
You got to handle it. If you can't handle it, you're going to break and you're never going to enjoy the blessings.
Right. And I think even like today's consumer and the things that they're watching, they can spot the real from the fake, now,
Yes.
because everything is just so reality, blah, 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 and reality, so when something, you have that uniqueness, that realness, about your brand, you can speak about things that you've been through, things that you're going through, and, you can like break those eggs and make different omelets for different people, so
Yeah.
you're like, yeah. you know yeah, so you're like that, so like you're just like this amazing guru, in that way. And it's not just, and one thing I have to keep reminding myself is that, every now and again, that this journey is bigger than me. It's not just about little old non Alvarez, soul of a man. Yeah, we want to be successful, don't get me wrong, but we know along the way that, because so many people like, man, you inspire me. You don't know how much you've inspired me and blah, blah, blah. Some of that
Yeah.
stuff catches me off guard because you're so, sometimes I'm so busy in the moment, and once I put something out, I'm on to the next thing.
That's
So
right.
have people? Oh, I'm sure people have come to you and said, "Wow, you're so inspiring," and or has any of that ever like caught you off guard?
Not anymore. It used to in the beginning, because people have to understand when you are walking in purpose, there are going to be people who see some things in you before you even see it.
Mm,
And people used to say, oh, you're so encouraging. And I'm like, what? Okay, I'm just giving messages. But now I see. But see, I don't get cocky with it. I see the calling and I am responsible with it. So if people see I'm encouraging them, I don't have time to be doing things that contradict the calling. I got to stay in this place. That's why I can't follow popularity. I got to do what's purposeful. And if I'm encouraging, motivating people, that's why I got to watch what I post, how I act in public, right? Because if I'm encouraging people, I don't want to be one way here and then another way if you see me in Walmart. You see what I'm saying?
mm-hmm.
So I always have to make sure I'm that spirit. Always. So yeah, it's yeah, you don't get cocky with it. You're like, okay, so yeah, you got to be responsible with it.
So going back to like when you first started out with media, what initially got you to kind of go down this road that you're currently in?
It was a major disappointment. When I only moved to Houston to get into law school. So I got into law school, flunked out, curved out is the pretty way of saying it. I flunked out of law school. Was like, okay, what am I going to do? I want to be a lawyer. And I originally wanted to be a lawyer to have my own talk show, judge talk show, right?
Right.
So that's really the only reason I wanted to be a lawyer in the first place, which wasn't a good reason in the first place, right? But I believe that God moved me to Houston and let me get into law school because that's the start he had for me in media. And I started writing for a magazine, a publication, and somebody said, well, we need a writer. I was an English minor, right? So I started writing. And then from writing, they started doing video interviews and said, hey, would you be interested in on-camera interviews? And yeah, and then from there, it just built and built and built. I became an editor, stopped doing that. And I became an editor of a publication. And then from there, it built my company, my brand, so through, and it wasn't a failure. It just was directing me to where I needed to go.
Right.
So that's what I tell people. It was a hard time because I was like, man, I want to be a lawyer, but really I only wanted to be a lawyer because I wanted to be, have a judge talk show. So yeah, I've been in Houston 20 years, but since then, I didn't really start doing media until I've only been doing media maybe since 2012. I got to look at the day. I don't remember, but yeah, but first 10 years of Houston in Houston was trying to be a lawyer. I was a paralegal, all that stuff. So, but yeah, thank God he through the disappointment. So don't be so quick to, and I could have went home and cried and stayed home forever because I did have to go back home because I was broke. right? Didn't have any money, didn't have that financial aid check anymore, right? Had no student loans in undergrad, but went to law school, and I had to meet who Sally Mae was. And I'm like, okay, God, you know, but thank God he provides. That's Sally Mae's out of my life. But I'm just saying, through those disappointments came the destiny. So don't be so quick to say it was a failure, it's disappointment. No, you gotta, but see, if I had not learned, I would still be stuck trying to be a lawyer. You see what I'm saying? You gotta learn and follow what God has. So sometimes you're not giving up, but you're saying, okay, God, this, what am I missing? Why is this happening? Instead of keep trying to do it and wasting energy, maybe God is trying to direct you somewhere else. So that's what I tell people. Pay attention to what's going on. Not what you want to do, but he's revealing something to you, but you miss it because you're trying to do what you want to do. I'd still be here tomorrow trying to have a court TV show. Right? Come on. That's not what he had. I was trying to be like Star Jones because she had a talk show back in the day. That's why I originally
I remember Star. I remember
Star Jones was like, I admired her. Yeah, it was her and Oprah. I wanted to be like, but believe me or not, Star Jones, because I saw these dark-skinned women who were voluptuous, like myself, right? I said, if they can do it, I can do it. And that's why we got to have diversity on television too, because there are other, you know, because I saw these two women who weren't the blonde and the typical. If they're successful on TV, I can do it too. Because people would say, well, you have to be this size and that size. They're doing it, and they're not a size 5. I can do it. So, you know, yeah, that's why it's important we have diversity so people can see different images. You don't have to be a size 5. You don't have to have your hair straight. You don't have to. It is be who you are, and God will open doors where you're supposed to be.
Right. And that's one thing I can attest to, you know, because when I was interviewing Dawn Robinson in Vogue, long story short, I was like, you know what? It was the end of the thing. And I said, you know, if you would have told me at the end of 2020, I would have been sitting here talking to you, I would have told somebody they were crazy, you know, like literally, you know, like it's amazing when you just, you know, not just put forth the effort, but you said, trust the process, you know.
Yes.
And, you know, you becoming this being, this entity, this force, you know, however you want to spin it, you know, to do what I think a lot of it is just really, you know, doing what we are put down here to do, you know. And I think sometimes people come to this, you know, they hit the brick wall and they're like, you know, they give up, or they just don't know what to do. Or like you and myself, you know, we, you know, try to give them an encouraging word. One other thing I wanted to ask you was that when you do something different and it opens up doors for you, like you becoming an author, right? You know, recently, and how did that within itself help to kind of garner more respect, maybe from peers in your industry, and maybe open up more doors for you?
It's just another title. I'm going to be honest about it. I'm going to be, can I be transparent? I appreciate that opportunity so much, but I'm going to tell you, it was a time where I thought I had to be an author.
Okay.
And it was a few years ago. Before I became an author, I said, God, everybody's an author. They have this, do I need an author on my title? And I was just going to do something to do it. And I said, you know what? I'm good. I'm not an author, but I'm getting booked on all these platforms. I'm getting booked on all these. You don't need to be an author to make it. You don't need to be speaker or media personality. You do what you do and God will open doors. Then the amazing people at Self-Published in 30 Days said, hey, we would love for you, because you own a media company, would you do a chapter on communications? That was God, right?
Okay.
That was God. I didn't seek it. Opportunities will come to you. When I was in a place thinking I had to be an author, I didn't need to be an author to make it. Author is now another title, right? But the book was actually substantive. The chapter was substantive. All the chapters were substantive. And I was part of a purposeful project that is helping people in the area of communications and helping people in leadership. My chapter was on communications, but now I'm an author. So it's a title. It's another title I can add that does give some credibility, yes. But at the end of the day, don't try to be an author. And that's the problem. People want to be an author because it's a title. It was purposeful for me. You see what I'm saying? I wasn't trying to seek it. It was an opportunity for me. And that's why when other people come to me and they say, oh, would you like to be part of our co-author? I'm good. I'm an author. What do I, you know what I mean?
Right.
I don't need to be a part of something. I'm already an author. God will let me know when he wants me to be a part of another co-author collaboration. And he has not revealed that to me yet, but I don't do stuff just to be doing it. It's got to be purposeful. So when I was trying to be an author or thought I needed to be an author, God said, you don't need that. Stop worrying about titles. Keep being who you are. Now I'm an author. It's a title. It was a purposeful project that I'm grateful to be a part of, and it meant something. I don't do stuff just to be doing it. So yeah, it does add some credibility. Unfortunately, some people think, oh, you have to be, I already had credibility. This just elevates. You see what I'm saying? It does help elevate. And I'm very proud to be a part of it, but you have to make sure you're doing things that are purposeful, not just to be popular. This was purposeful. It was a great book. I'm so proud to be a part of it. And I'm proud that people, and I'm really excited that people got something from it. So that's what it's about. So yeah.
So last question, the digital footprint, people looking at who you are and what you've done. Like I think we talked a little bit about it. People inboxing you, the Joe Schmoes and the Sally, who, whatever, just trying to get something. How important is it to have a valid digital print, especially in the digital age that we're living in?
What do you mean by that?
Like a digital footprint, in a sense, just to show people that you're valid, that you've done something,
Oh, social proof.
Yeah.
Social proof matters, but I even tell people, just because they have social proof, you can fake the social proof, right? I can have my cousin pretend to be a client. Come on, y'all. That's why I tell people I said the other day when I was on this show, I said, social media is a game and many people know how to play it very well. I can say, hey, y'all, this is a client, It's my cousin or it's a friend who's not on Facebook, who I need to do this promo video. That's why I tell you, do your own research. Even with social proof, you have to do research on these people, because now people are even faking that. You need to ask some questions. That's why I give 15-minute complimentary consultations before the life coaching or before the media company, whatever side you come on, right? Because I need to see, because you have an opportunity to ask me questions as well. People faking it. You can pretend all day, be in an office with all this fancy stuff in the background. How do we know you really made $50,000 last month? Show me. I need to see it. These people they may have made $50,000 in 1 month, but what did they make the month after? See, be careful of these people. I made $50,000 in a month. You still talking about that a year later? What else you done? Do your research on these people. That's all I'm saying, y'all, because I know I can tell you some stories, but it's not my permission to tell, of people who paid people who were popular and they were very disappointed. They didn't deliver. But because they were popular and got a lot of likes, you thought they could do the job.
Right. It's almost like lying on your resume until you have to, like that meme that says you lied on your resume, then you go to the job and you have to actually do the work.
And then they fire you.
Right.
Some people learn the hard way, because now social media is our resume, right? Social media is the resume. People don't care about it. They want, because do you know how many people, like, I actually will, I'll have a consultation with them. I'm like, okay, did you check out our website? No, because they see the TheDrDawn, right? They see me on TV, they see my social media. That's my credibility. I could do anything I wanted behind the scenes, but I have to stay with integrity. So if people see what you're standing on, they don't even have to check out your website. The TheDrDawn website, I'm updating that. That's not even updated. And people still reaching out to me, obsessed with media. People don't even check out the website. TheDrDawn, I just want to hire you because I see what you're doing in media. If you have credibility. Now look, I got to be able to deliver now. Thank God I can, right? But I'm just saying, even these fancy websites, that don't mean nothing. People putting pictures of celebrities on there that they went to an event, popping it off like they a publicist to the stars. I'm not, like I said, I'm not fooled with surface. I'm going to do research and see what the substance is. Right. Be careful, people. Be careful, y'all.
And you know what, and in closing, you know, I just want to thank you for inspiring me and people like me, because this has been a culmination of 5 years for me to get to this point.
Hey,
People may not have known that, you know, being interviewed or, you know, podcasts and this and that. So, you know, it's takes some polishing. You know, it's like the piece of coal needs pressure so it can be, you know, so it can shine bright like a diamond, like Rihanna said. But, you know, I just want to, you know,
do
say,
it. Yeah.
encourage you to, you know, to continue doing what you're doing. And, you know, I am very proud. I know we don't talk every day, but I'm very, very proud of you and the young lady that you
Oh,
have
thank you.
become, you know, over these years, and just still being true to your, you know, just still being true to yourself, you know, ups and downs, you know, whatever you want to call it. But, you
Yeah.
know, and when people see the things that are going to be coming your way, and you know, not just this month, but just the very near future, yes, you know, it's really going to start really blowing people's minds.
Let me tell you, we've had some struggles, right? I've had some
Right.
challenges. And I remember what you told me, and I'm going to wrap this up quickly because as a media professional, you said in closing, which means hurry up. So I
That's
know that,
cool.
but I got to share this story. A few years ago, remember when I was booked all the time, like every week I was doing every weekend, right?
Yeah.
And I remember you saying, next year is going to be your year. Well, that year was my year, and one of the hardest years. Those following 2 years after that, I'm like, it was my year, all right. Struggles, challenges, disappointments. Because I thought, okay, next week. Oh no, God said yeah. What is this? But it was through the past few years has given me such strength. I can only speak the way I speak because of the challenges that he's brought me through, the struggles, so it was my year, all right. Because people are like, it's gonna be your year, Dr. Dunn. It was my year. Struggles, challenges, but it was growth. So I
Right.
tell people, don't be so quick to think because this stuff means it's gonna be follow the path, be patient, keep your eyes open, because it's not gonna be what you think it is. When God takes you to an exit, it's just a lesson to get you back on the highway, because as he takes you on the highway, you're going to need that lesson at that exit for that next level. So I just tell people, be careful about seeing what you want to see, because 2019, what do they tell us, Damon? 2020 is vision, 2020 clear. It was blurry as I don't know what. This year's been blurry. These people don't know what they're talking about. So, and you never saw that on my timeline, 2020 vision, because everybody was saying that because it was trending.
Right.
God said, y'all, we still think we got it figured out. We don't have this thing called life figured out.
We don't.
2020 vision. It's been blurry as I don't know what. But God, thank the Lord, right? He's been with us.
Yes.
But I'm proud of you for getting out there, for doing it. And you're interviewing such amazing people. Like, don't be surprised and don't think you're not good enough. Like, you can get Oprah, so go big. And I hope people see this, because here you are, my girl from a different world. I love her. And then Dawn. And at first I thought it was me. I'm like, Dawn, is that my picture? That's not the picture I gave him. And then I said, wait, that's his mom. Hold on. Okay. Because I love me some Dawn. She beautiful, beautiful. And I
Oh
said, is that my
yeah.
picture? I said, wait, he got invoked. You're doing it, man. So don't think you can't. So I'm proud of you. And hopefully people will be inspired by what you're doing and keep it up.
Yeah, she's very, you know,
Beautiful spirit.
she has it. Very, very smart, very intelligent. So can you tell everybody where they can find you on social media?
Follow me on social media, all social media platforms. I'm going to give them both names. Obsessed with Media on Facebook. Obsessed with Media on Facebook. OW, God, I think it's OW Media Company on Instagram and Twitter. Yeah, charge it to my head, not to my heart. You think I know it by heart? Yeah, because somebody had the Obsessed with Media name on Twitter, so I had to, sometimes you gotta retweet,
Yeah.
But anyway, it's Obsessed with Media on Facebook. You'll see the logo with the purple, and then the TheDrDawn, just like it is in the title on here. On all social media platforms, it's the same. Follow me, I'll follow you back. That's what it's about.
And again, ladies and gentlemen, in closing, we want to thank you so much for joining us. And again, the amazing Dawn Paul, aka the Dr. Dawn. Look for her as her brand continues to rise and grow, and keep her in prayers, and she moves with faith and all of the great things that that she has coming. And just wait and see. I'm telling
Hey, and
you.
shout out to Tristan. I love
Yeah,
Inspired Scents, my candles, my just amazing. It smells good too. I'm not just saying that. I love smell goods, and the candle actually smells. Not one of these candles who I'm like, we got to take hours to get the, you know, or the
yeah,
end of the
she,
wick before the smell starts coming. It's some good product. I love it, and it inspire. Every like product has a good inspiring message on it. So that's what I love. She's
so
so great.
go to www.tjinspires.com for all your scents and candles, and all of your all your Inspire Sense products. But
Yeah, I got my
yeah,
oil too.
yeah.
Hey, and I it works. Look, and let me just say, and after Thanksgiving, when the leftovers are in you, when you
Yeah,
I'm just saying
everything smell like
it
turkey.
makes everything smell fresh. Am I being too
Right.
graphic? I'm sorry. I'm
Yeah, it's
candid, but
cool.
I'm gonna be real.
Yeah.
When you got all them people in your house, and the Thanksgiving dinner has settled in, you want some of that inspiring when Christmas comes and you got all them family members in your house, because I know y'all ain't gonna practice social distancing. You're gonna need some of that smell good after the food settles, all them bodies in the bathroom. That's all I'm saying.
And again, yeah, thank you so much. And as always, folks, y'all know who I am, Mr. Soul of a Man 504. Okay, DeMond Alvarez. And as always, folks, we're out this piece. Peace.